Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Real Deep Stuff. I'm Christy.
And Michelle.
We are here to wrap up day 8.
8.
Woohoo! 8 is great. It has been a fantastical day today.
It really has. I mean, we had ourselves worked up that this was going to be the hardest day ever.
We were so anxious about it.
And it turned out, we thought it was going to be 10 and a half miles, which that would have been the longest day.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being 12 miles.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't feel like it.
No, it was mostly flat.
Yeah.
Very woodsy. So the sun really didn't beat down on us until like the last half hour.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
It was.
I wore that hot bucket hat for probably no reason today. Begrudgingly. Taking care of skin, don't get skin cancer. So yeah, but we switched it up a little bit to make that possible.
We got up. I think I got up a little bit before 5:30. You were up at 5:45.
Mm-hmm.
We were out by 7.
We were like a machine.
Yes. We were out of there, got on. Pretty quickly met a mother-daughter.
Well, Carlene is the only one. The German lady was the only one leaving it up with us at our time. That was it. Everybody else was like very quiet. I wasn't even sure if they were awake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not even the guard dogs were up.
No, I don't remember seeing them.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so we walked just a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then met some new friends.
Yes. You talked to the mom. Her name was
Soria.
And then I walked with the daughter. Her name was Sarah. And they are little speed walkers.
Yes, they are.
I mean, we walked 3 miles in no time.
Yeah. They started in St. John, the original spot. And they were going all the way to Santiago today. And we were stopping at Lavacoya, which is where we are now, which is the last stop before Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
So they were on a mission.
Yeah. They carried all their stuff.
Mm-hmm. They were true backpacking albergue sleeping people.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice. It's funny, did you see them when they were taking their morning selfie?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so maybe we haven't told everybody this, but we do a morning selfie hug. So we take a selfie at the beginning of the day when we're freshest. And then because, like I said in a previous episode, I need hugs every day. So then Michelle and I hug in public. I don't know what people were thinking. I don't really care. And so I happened to see, before we actually met them, I saw them across the road leaving like a cafe or something, and they were taking a selfie.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. There's some more people up. And then lo and behold, we wound up walking with them.
Yeah, and the mom's from where y'all are.
I can't believe she's in Charlotte. I was like, what? Turns out we live probably 10 minutes from each other, which is wildest. The closest we've come yet is meeting people from Raleigh. So I just thought, oh my gosh. And so that was really fun. And I think Sarah travels a lot, right?
Yeah, she does commercials. She lives in Brooklyn.
That's okay.
Better mute that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, she lives in Brooklyn. And she travels a lot. Yeah, with her work. And so, yeah, Soria, I hope I'm saying that right. Soria, I think I am. It's really, really nice. We just had so much, all 4 of us just really got on well. And we couldn't believe we covered 3 miles in an hour.
Yeah.
That was crazy. The sun had not, come up fully.
Yeah, because we chose not to wear jackets today.
Yeah, we lighten the pack. Lighten that pack every ounce. And it was a beautiful kind of just cloudy morning. So, yeah, they really got our speed going. Because, we can walk fast, but we've been walking slow for all the reasons we've already said. We want to take in the scenery, the sights, meet the people, take the pictures, be wary of my back, the whole thing. But they were on a mission, and so we were with them until we all hit our first bathroom break.
Yeah, we walked 3 miles in the time before we even normally have been out.
Yes.
Each morning.
Yes, we've been leaving around 8:30 each morning, and it was not even 8:30 before we were at our first stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I just kept going like, whoa. It's an entirely different way to do it. We really enjoyed walking with them, but they had to get on their way because they needed to get to Santiago, and we wanted to slow down and do all of our pictures and all that kind of stuff. So it was great to meet them, and it will be fun. Oh, here's funny. I said, she goes, yeah, I'm part of the Camino group in Charlotte. And I was like, I know what that is, because when there was the Camino movie, not The Way, but like the other one by the... Oh, goodness.
Is it like a documentary, right?
Yes, that one. It was, oh, sorry. I'm sitting in a very old chair. That was like a one-night showing. She goes, yeah, on March 28th. I'm like, yeah. She's like, we had a table set up outside the movie. And I said, I know, I took your pamphlets. So she was there. I was there. We had no idea. So cool. Yeah, so that was neat. So we made new friends. And then wish them well. And then you got to enjoy a special treat.
Yes, since we left early, we had left before breakfast was open, so I did not get my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So we stopped to get that, and then they had the that Nutella thing. It's like, the breading's like a croissant, but it's not shaped like a croissant. It's like longer and wider.
Mm-hmm. Like a big rectangle.
And it was warm. It was the best one yet.
She's proceeded to tell me that several times today because she offered me a bite and I said no because I wasn't hungry yet, and I now am fully aware I've missed the best one yet. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
I bought a banana there.
Yeah.
So that was good. So we just kind of took a break and enjoyed coffee and Nutella. Wonderful piece of heaven, and just kind of chilled out for a little bit, and then we started on our way. And I just thought, so you and I spent the night before downloading all this stuff to like
Listen to.
yes. Oh yeah.
Didn't even use it.
Not one on our longest walk day today. Didn't even dawn on us to turn it on. We were fully prepared with an arsenal of audio things.
We thought it was just going to be so tough, and then 12 miles just flew by.
It did. We made it here in times it's taken us to do almost half that.
I mean, I think if we had done like the whole Camino trail, because like when I was talking to the mother-daughter, I was talking to Sarah, you know, she just said the first part, it's totally different than this part.
How so?
I mean, there's not as many towns in between, so you go longer without.
So you're going to bring what you need or go without.
Yep.
That's wild. Yeah, it's been amazing. We met them. We met a couple from Denmark today. Really nice couple. Finally got to make contact with a German couple, and that makes it sound like either they or we are aliens, but so we've been seeing them. They've actually been staying at our places and out shopping in Azura. We ran into them into the little store, but we've never actually spoken to them.
Right.
Yeah, so today, I think you were outside taking a call when he came in.
No, I was there.
You were
but
there?
Then,
okay.
Yeah, Bart called, so I left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he came in and he kind of looked at us and he's like, you. He's
I know. I was like, what do we do?
He's like, you look familiar. We were like, yes, we've been seeing you for days. We've been journeying for days together. It was really fun. And they are definitely older. I mean, have you been surprised how many older people are out here?
I mean, we saw it. All ages. We saw the youngest one today. There was a family of 4. One baby couldn't even walk. They were in the front carrier. I
mean, the baby looked maybe a month or 2 old, honestly.
Like, and then the little. Other one, maybe 2 or so, didn't even have a stroller.
No, didn't have a stroller. That little baby was an infant baby.
Yeah.
And they're out there walking. So we definitely gave the youngest award to the baby.
Yes.
And then the oldest award, we're still trying to figure that out.
There was someone I met somewhere, and they were in their upper 70s. It was over 75.
It's absolutely amazing.
So, I mean, anyone can do it.
Really, anyone can do it.
It's what pace you choose to go at.
Men, women, doesn't matter. We've seen so many bikers. One guy was running it today.
Yeah.
That or he just really had to go to the bathroom. I don't know.
I know, that's true.
Because he was like, out of my way. He looked like he was urgent for something. But yeah, we've seen pretty much everything out here. So many different nationalities and all of that.
Well, then that couple that had the baby and the toddler, remember we found that jacket on the trail?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh no, someone lost their jacket. And then it was kind of heavy. And then the phone was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had thought, well, let's take it to the next cafe. Someone's going to want it because the phone was dead. So we
Totally dead. Mm-hmm.
And then we caught up with that couple.
Yeah.
And you said, is this y'all's jacket? And yes.
They had no idea they lost it.
Yeah.
So we were doing this super sleuth detective work. Because first, as we're coming up, there's this like blob in the trail. And we're like, that's weird. Never seen that. I'm like, could it be a black cat? I don't think so. Because other people had been by and it would have run off. And I'm like, I don't think it's an animal. We get closer to it. I'm like, oh, it looks like clothing. We get closer to it. We pick it up to see if there's a name in it, and there's a cell phone in the pocket, and I'm like, oh, let's just turn it on, and there was a QR code on the case. I'm like, maybe that's somebody's tag or something, and that was just the style of the case, and that led nowhere, and we're just like, what do we do with it? And I said, well, if I lost my phone and jacket, I would be searching every stop along the way to see if anyone had turned it in, so we were just gonna walk with it. And then when we saw that family, we're like, hola! They looked a little stunned because they didn't know they had lost it.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah? We're like, is this yours? She's like, oh my. So that was very cool to start off the mid-morning with like a good deed. That was really good because I would be lost without my phone on this Camino, honestly. And then it's such long stretches of walking. How do you go about trying to find it? You'd have to go back and walk the whole thing.
Yeah.
And with a dead phone, that wasn't any help.
Couldn't call it.
Yeah. And we figured it hadn't been there long because the jacket itself wasn't dirty.
It definitely wasn't overnight because it poured last night.
Mm-hmm. Bikes hadn't run over it, And I was thinking, it looked kind of like the mom's size, but I was thinking more like with a baby and a toddler and you have all that extra stuff, you could easily drop something and not realize it. And they had no idea that they had lost all that. So that was pretty cool to like kind of add a little spark joy to their moment. So after that, we enjoyed a lot of eucalyptus today. It was like one eucalyptus forest after the next.
I never knew I liked the smell of eucalyptus.
Yeah. Who knew? I mean, I just didn't even know it grew here. I thought it was in Australia where the koala bears are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And as we got closer to our destination for tonight, we knew we were getting two things that told us we were getting closer. Is one, we saw the signs for the hotel we stayed in the first night.
That's right, yes.
We were like, hey, that's our old place. Which was a really great hotel. That was the one that we just slept off jet lag. The one with a great Santiago cake in it.
Yes.
The one where I was out of my mind with 10 low blood sugar events. It was a great hotel. But so we saw that, and then we saw a sign on the highway because the trail kind of paralleled the highway, and the sign had an airport or an airplane sign. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we're close to the airport. And next thing you know, over us were some planes like taking off, and I was like, oh, we are so close to the airport, which means we're close to Santiago, and that's really fat or really cool. And tell them about when we got to our second rest stop. We did 2 rest stops today.
Yes.
And who did we finally beat there?
Yes. Jacqueline and Bruce.
Yes.
It wasn't for long.
And then we find out they started like 45 minutes after us and still caught up to us.
Yes. So then we set off, but then we stopped because you have to get 2 stamps a day. And remember what do you call the stamp that we got?
Wax.
Yes, wax.
Yes.
You this two guys had tables set up. They were selling different things, and then you could get the wax stamp, and it was just so cool.
And we were going to pass by it because to understand what this whole stamp thing is, they give you like a fake passport book, and you're supposed to get 2 stamps a day to prove that you actually walked the whole Camino of whatever part you're doing.
The last 100 kilometers, because that's what you have to have, at least 100 kilometers to get the certificate.
Yeah, and you have to literally present the physical evidence. So we were going back on stamps and going, oh, what day was this stamp? And like filling in the dates, if we got off. So these two guys had their van parked, and then they had tables set up with all kinds of like little charms and souvenirs. You finally found the dog one you wanted?
Yes, I wanted a little Camino shell for Dixie's collar.
Yeah, we found that. And then, oh my gosh, you remember how I asked about it? That was embarrassing.
Yes. How did you ask for that?
Are you to make me do
yes.
it? Oh, I was trying.
She was practicing her Spanish.
It's so bad. And there were these signs we kept seeing on residential homes, like beware of dog. And I thought the word dog was Ferror, Pharaoh. And I guess it's Pero with a P. So I kind of lost my confidence to say Ferror, because I knew how to spell it. I didn't know how to say it. So I said Pero, yes. So I said, woof, woof. You started like laughing at me on the spot. And then the guy kind of laughed, and that made me feel better. That it was like, okay, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just trying, I don't know. And then, but he got the message, and he showed you what you wanted.
Yes.
And I got the little pin, another backpack pin that's a Camino, American flag and the Camino like sign, which is because they had like all nationalities, which was cool. One thing about their stop that I loved was they had music playing.
They did.
I have missed music. It's a big part of my daily life. And it was, I got the power. I was like, it was so energizing for the walk. I got the power. And the ladies, the 10 group of ladies were just like leaving as we were coming. And they had all bought matching bracelets. Like,
oh, I didn't notice that. Oh,
yeah,
is that when they were doing the picture?
Yeah, okay. Like the braided bracelets. So they all put I thought they were doing a huddle, like going, go
That's
team.
what I thought.
Yeah, no, it was a picture.
Okay.
So I got a picture of them getting a picture. So I got to say hi to my laundromat friend who washed her clothes in the bidet. I got to see her. I only know her by I can't remember where she's from, but I remember the company name, but I won't say it. So she's my laundromat friend. But so anyway, so the music was jamming, and the guys were so nice. They're brothers or cousins maybe. And you want to tell them about what the seal looks like? So pretty.
You can choose your color. You can choose blue, yellow, or red, and then they like put it's oh my gosh, it's the shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they like color it in black. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then they put a little charm underneath.
Everyone else is just an ink stamp.
Yeah.
There's this long, like 3 foot long skinny candle that's like one long candle that lays over a line, and he snips off a fresh piece of candle, which is the wax color you choose, and then he lights that with a lighter and lets the wax drip into a puddle, and then he takes the Camino shell seal, stamps it down, leaves it there, and he's like drying on it, checking on it, drying on it. And I was like, as a baker, I get that. You want to pull it out just the right time. But yeah, then he adds the before he stamped it, he put the charm in with the ribbon, and then he stamped it, and then he takes the Sharpie and colors the outline of the shell. It was like, it's artisan work. It was so, and we weren't gonna stop.
No. But
there was an American lady. I forgot where she was from. Totally American though, but she said, if you like pretty stamps, you should stop at this. She was a traveler too, a pilgrim, excuse me. She was a pilgrim, and she was getting ready to leave. And she saw us kind of walking by, and she's like, just to say, if you like pretty stamps, this one's really pretty because he colors it in himself. And I was like, what does she mean by that? It's an ink stamp. So glad that she said something. Because the reason we weren't going to stop is because we're running out of room in our passport book. Like, I can't get any more for today because I have to have room for 2 tomorrow. You have a little more room?
I think I have a little more room.
Yeah, because it's like an accordion folded little paper booklet.
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of room.
I don't. I have enough for 2. That's it.
Just a little organized where I put
whatever. Sometimes they do them. And one guy, I tried to make him squish his in a corner, and he looked at me like he was insulted. I'm like, okay, put it wherever you want. He's like in the middle of the page. So that was that was by far the prettiest stamp that we got. And and then afterwards I said, hey, can we have our picture taken with you? And he was so delighted. So you and I had our stamps showing, and we got on either side of him. And the guy, his brother or cousin that took it, he goes, he's our Familia Picasso. And I told Michelle, I was like, part of the reason I wanted the picture was to have the memory, but also to show some value and worth to the person behind the art, because, he does this all day long and people get their wax stamps and they move on. But I guess I maybe just, my heart gets pulled, and I just want to show, like you matter. You are valuable, not just what you do. And that's like a mantra for me in life, is trying to, because I've fought that whole thing of like, you are what you produce. It's a lot of the American philosophy. And so now I try to take opportunities to tell people, like, you matter, it's not all about what you do. So yeah, so there's that. Oh, and remember the nice guy with the banana for you?
Oh yeah, our next stop. Yeah, I needed water. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was like, oh, do you have bananas?
And he pointed to an empty place.
And he's like, you got 5-10 minutes. And so yeah, we just went and sat down and took our break, and then he comes out with a banana 5 to 10 minutes later.
He delivered it to the table. He remembered who you were.
Yeah, and he called someone to bring them.
He did. We thought that he was like, nope, no bananas, and like moving on with his day, when he was actually calling in Spanish, so we didn't know what he was saying. And we saw a car pull up, and you're like, I bet this is the bananas. And the guy gets out with a chef's apron on. I was like, oh, that's totally your bananas. And then he brings out this big produce box, and he gave you a whomping-sized banana. Mm-hmm. It was a big one. So that was just really sweet.
It is, yeah. Super friendly, because we've been to some of the cafes, and they're just rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, this was a good one.
And it looks like a husband and wife team. And she was just like spit shine and everything. The bathrooms, the tables, like you could tell like they care about their establishment. And how nice they were. Like, I thanked her for how hard she was working. And those are the type of places that you love to spend your money at, because you want to support that, That was really, really cool. So, so then the whole wax stamp came on that we just totally didn't expect. And let's see. And then on our way here, we met 2 more moms. They're on a mother-daughter trip.
Yeah, the daughters went ahead.
What was the deal with that? They're on a bus or something?
Well, because they wanted to go to the real end, which is past Santiago, where you go to the coast.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay. So these moms were from LA and Boston. So between them and then us, we were like, yeah, we got America pretty good. A little sampler platter of America. Yeah. So they're here staying with us tonight. And talk about being here. This was a surprise.
Yeah, we need to do laundry, so we're asking if they had laundry facilities, and they do it for us.
I couldn't believe it.
For €5.
Cinco! We're like, what?
Yes, please.
Yeah, because the washer and the dryer we have found everywhere else, you pay separately, and it can be $8 or $9 before you're done, and your clothes might not be dry.
Yeah.
You might put more money in.
Yep. So this, I'm ecstatic.
And they're going to deliver them to our door sometime in the middle of the night tonight, but as much as we get up and go to the bathroom, one of us will grab them in. And so this place is called it's Pazo. Paso, I think is how they say
Paso,
it.
yes.
Paso. And it's called Paso Zanzordo.
Yes.
And it's so cool. We were walking around the grounds earlier. It's beautiful. It's small and beautiful. So they've got like big heavy wooden entry doors with stone walls on either side, and
a little chapel right on the inside.
Like it has its own church.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very curious about like what is the history. So we looked it up a little bit.
Yeah, and how did you pronounce that?
Galatian. Oh shoot, we looked it up. It was not Galatian.
Is it
Galatian. I think it's Galatian.
Galatian?
Galatian. We'll go with Galatian.
Okay, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when you read about it, it was like important people stayed here, like kings and noble people. I was like,
2 queens, maybe.
Yeah.
This particular one is from the 17th century and has been fully restored. And, you can obviously tell, like, the sheetrock that's new, and the bathrooms are new. But when you're in the common spaces,
yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
It is. And then they want you to know what you want for dinner, what time you want to eat. And
it's a little different than what we've seen some other places, like chicken hake. Hake is the fish. Hake.
Yeah, I don't know if they say hake or hack. I don't know.
I think it's hake or pork knuckle. We don't even know what that
knuckle.
is. Yeah, one place said pork knuckles. So I thought, is it all pork knuckle? I don't know, but it's all knuckles. But anyway, it's like that. That pilgrim menu. Boom, boom, boom. Starter, main, dessert.
So we're gonna try the ham and cheese croquettes.
Yes, I'm so excited to start.
It's something different.
And then what'd you get for dinner? What'd you choose?
Oh, there wasn't a lot of options.
No.
I wasn't doing the knuckle. I forgot the other one.
Hake.
Oh yeah, I didn't want that.
So we got the same thing? Pasta and vegetables?
Yeah, so I'll eat the pasta and you can have my vegetables.
Fair deal. I got that one too and that's why I chose the ham and cheese croquettes, because I was like, I needed the protein. But I'm not going to attempt fish on the night before our last day. That could not go well.
And then you're doing cheesecake for dessert, and I'm doing crepes.
Yeah, you saw, like, your eyes just zeroed in on the crepes. And I'm going to try the cheesecake one more time, because that one stop that we didn't get it, the cheesecake was like 4 inches thick. And these have all been like tiny little flan things. So I'm betting with everything that we've seen so far that it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, this time I didn't get I've been getting salads all the way through, and this time I forewent the salad, and we shall see. But our room is very nice. It's got an ornate dark oak headboard that has the family crest carved in it, which is the same crest that's on the walls of the outside walls of the building.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know who lived here. The initials are EMM, so I don't know what that means. But we went into the chapel. I mean, it's pretty special that they have their own church on site.
Mm-hmm.
And remember I asked you if it was sacrilegious.
Yeah, the dolls.
Ew. I mean, I'm all about like statues and things like that, but these are like ceramic figurines of, like Mary and Jesus and other, like some of the disciples, of course, James at Santiago. But they're old and I have a doll thing. And I'm like, I can't really look at them. But then I went up those really tall wooden steps to the balcony, hoping I wouldn't fall through. I didn't. No.
Still here.
Still here kicking. But it's just so cool to see like the open rafters, like the big exposed beams, is what I'm trying to say. And then the thick stones with the thick grout in between them. And then they have all like period furniture, really like antique-y. It's the first time we've sat in cushioned upholstered seating since home.
Yeah.
Not even the airports. No. I looked and I saw a couch. You said we were waiting on our luggage, hoping it would come on time today, which it did.
It did.
Yeah, while we were sitting there. And the same guy that delivered it late yesterday, when I was trying to talk to him, he doesn't speak any English. And Michelle's like, give it up. So he remembered us today, and we gave that familiar smile, like, I know you. And so she's like, do you want to sit inside or outside and wait for our luggage? And I'm thinking, it's upholstered furniture. We haven't sat on anything soft since home. Even the beds are quite hard. So that was a treat. So we sat in there with the Boston and LA and moms. And so it's been a really good day.
It has.
Completely shocked that it went as fast as it did. I'm trying to think if we missed anything, any interesting details about today. We saw a lot of people biking today, actually, and we're wondering if they were going to be going all the way through to Santiago.
They probably are.
Yeah.
Because they go a lot faster.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I was them, I wouldn't have stopped today.
Mm-mm.
It's only like 6.2 more miles.
Oh, yeah. It's a very short walk tomorrow, and but we're still going to get up early.
Okay, what's our plan?
We're going to get up early. We'll get breakfast along the way, and because we want to get there early, get our certificate, do the 12 o'clock mass, and then explore the town because, yeah.
Yeah. So we started the night before in Saria, the night before the first day with mass, which was a surprise. And then to get to end it, they do it at noon every day for the pilgrims in this St. James, Santiago de Compostela Cathedral. The incense, I don't know what you call it. It hangs from the ceiling and it swings. It's 70 pounds. And it just like wafts the incense through the air. It looks really cool. And we want to make it in time for that. But we were researching the whole process of getting the certificate. And it sounds a little squirrely.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a popular thing. So you have to like get there early or else you may not get it that day. It may be the next day. And that's not really an option.
No, we will be gone before we could really handle that the next day for our next leg of the race.
Yeah, so we want to get there and get that, we filled out something online, some type of registration. Maybe it helped, maybe it won't.
We might have to fill it out again. I don't know. I stumbled on this registration page. I'm like, well, I'm going to register and maybe because it gives you a QR code and then it says, come back, if you don't want to wait for your turn, you can leave, but come back within 50 people of your number because you don't want to miss your turn, and they'll have a maximum daily that they can handle because there's just so many people doing it. But you have to actually present this little paper passport and prove that you've got all your stamps 2 a day and the whole thing. So we want to accomplish that plus mass by noon, and it is still 6.2 more miles, and this is the farthest off trail we've been.
Yeah, still not quite sure how to get back on the trail.
I don't know either, other than it's a sketch highway, just to say. We were a little bit worried.
Oh, yeah, remember the guy?
Yes!
He was hanging out the window. He says, the trail that way.
Camino! And we kept walking.
Yeah, and finally I said, hotel. He said, oh, yeah, Zanzardo. So he knew that we were doing that.
But wasn't that so nice? Mm-hmm. I mean, he was literally flailing his arms like, you're going the wrong way. And we're like, we're good.
We're good this time.
This time, we're good. Yeah. He was so nice that he's in his own home. He didn't have to bother doing that. So tonight we're going to go enjoy our dinner. Yeah, it really worked well this morning, just getting our butt up and getting out the door. Mm-hmm. And it's so much cooler. And it's supposed to be flat. So, like cooler meaning cooler time of the day. We realize we don't like walking in the afternoon. It's just hot and humid. So the morning time is cooler and no sunglasses needed. And we can just book it. Enjoy it, but, get through those last 6.2 once we find back on the trail from where we are. Because it was a bit of a walk.
We need to check that out.
We really do. And I was talking to Bruce today, and he's like, how do you think it's going to feel? And I said, I don't know. I guess I'm just curious. I just wonder, is it going to feel like if you've ever watched the show The Amazing Race and they're at their final thing because all the pilgrims from all 8 routes are descending on this one cathedral. Mm-hmm. And it feels like we're going to be coming from every part of town. And it's part of me is just going to want to run up those steps. I'm hoping to remember to video that moment of us getting there and running up the steps to the cathedral and finding the pilgrim's office. And I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't look like rain, so that's good.
Not till the afternoon, so.
Yeah. And at that point, we're on our own dime for time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can't wait to tell you how it all goes. It's getting exciting. We're in the final push. We're so excited. Laundry's getting done. Our showers are done. We walked around the property. We're going to go eat. We get served in 6 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we get to go find out how good their crepes and cheesecake are that we have earned after 12 miles of walking today.
Yes.
All right, so that's it. So we're going to enjoy our last night en route, and then we'll be with our travel service, their accommodations, one more night tomorrow night, and then we're on our own.
We are.
You'll have to stay tuned for what we've got planned next, because it's kind of exciting and kind of maybe crazy. All right, so bye for now.
Bye.
Buenas noches.